They go in, they shampoo with, they wash your hair with shampoo and condition your hair with conditioner. So I sort of follow that because that's the basics that work. Hey guys, welcome back. What's up, subbies? And hello, newbies. That's anybody checking me out. Maybe for the first time, second time, third time. It don't even matter. We do not count around here. If you find yourself looking in no more. Just come on in. Today, we got a quickie today. Okay, now this one was requested. In addition to people who have been asking about my regimen, now you guys know that I do have regimen videos. I have regimen videos that talk about basically everything that I use and my staples and how I use them. And I'll have them down below. So either you guys have not watched it, okay, so it's okay. Either you guys have not gotten around to watching those videos yet, or you've watched them and you somehow think that I'm leaving something out or keeping a secret to myself or whatever. And I'm not. I everything that I do, I put out there. So in addition to that, someone requested that I make this particular video, and you know who you are. Basically, she was saying that, people are looking for 10 things you don't do or 10 rules you don't follow as far as your relaxed hair. And I said, well, I got a couple of videos that talk about. She said, no, we gonna need a video from you talking about the 10 things, 10 rules that you do not follow. That way, when we search for it, it will come up. And I said, okay. So basically, she twisted my arm. And I say that with love. No, but she suggested it. She requested it. And someone else sort of suggested something in the same ballpark. So today we're going to go over 10 rules. And I'm going to soften on the word rules. I will say the norms. Okay, we're going to label it rules. But I'm going to say the 10 things that I particularly do not follow as far as the norms of relaxed hair, okay, and taking care of your hair overall. So we're going to go through this very quickly. Get your pen and paper ready, or pencils, just in case you got to erase anything, because But anyway, here we go. Here's the list. Number 1, and it's in no particular order. I do not use any oils, okay? I do not use any oils or moisturizers or grease or anything of that sort in my hair. Not only in my hair, but not on my scalp. I do not grease my scalp. As a relaxed girl, I find that these things weigh my hair down. You guys know, or maybe you don't know, I like to wear my hair out 99% of the time. And we'll get to that later on in the list. And in doing so, I like my hair to have movement and bounce and all this other stuff, all the things that, make it fun to have your hair relaxed. So with that being said, in lieu of these oils and butters and all this other stuff, I use a serum. Serums are light. Serums you can use as a heat protectant as well as a finishing agent. It's light, it's versatile, and it does not weigh your hair down. And again, with my regimen and the products that I use, I'm able to keep that moisture or moisturization, if you will, throughout the week. So I don't need to add anything to it. Which gets to my number 2 is that I do not do anything else throughout the week to maintain that moisture. I know some people moisturize throughout the week, which is basically number 3 on the list. I'm sort of combining these 3, so hang with me. I do not do anything throughout the week. The only thing that I do is wrap my hair. Wrapping my hair helps distribute the natural oils on the scalp, as well as anything that you put on your hair. It helps to keep it moisturized and distributed evenly, and as well as keep your hair intact, okay? So with that being said, I do not moisturize and seal either. That's number 3. I do not moisturize and seal. I know that a lot of girls do. And again, this list is not knocking anyone who does these things. This is just what I do, just as far as not following a lot of what other people do. So we'll say rules. But again, there's no real rules, but I get it. But a lot of people moisturize and seal, and I do not do that. Okay, I do not moisturize and seal. I never have. I didn't know about that until I came onto YouTube. I had never heard of it. But moisturizing and sealing, again, that's dealing with oils and locking in the moisture via the oils or whatever else to keep your hair moisturized. So again, reflecting back to 1 and 2, I do not use any oils in my hair. And I don't find that I have to do anything throughout the week to maintain my moisture, because again, the products that I use help to do that already, as well as I use heat in my hair. Okay, so me using heat in my hair, that helps to lock in the moisture as well. Now I know that's very contrary to what a lot of people believe and have been told, but because one of the hair rules is that not to use heat in your hair. Okay, so another hair rule that I break, and again, it's connected to the other ones, I do use heat in my hair. It helps me to maintain not only my style, it helps me to maintain the moisture in my hair, because I use a ceramic iron as opposed to just a regular iron. Ceramic irons help to maintain or preserve more of the moisture in your hair. So another hair rule, don't use heat. I definitely use heat, and I use it once a week. I don't use it twice a week, 3 times. Once is enough. And I always use a heat protectant. Please, guys, if you do use heat, I know a lot of girls don't use heat, and that's okay. Again, this is not this is not a competition of who does what and how we're going to get there. Everybody has their own set of rules or guidelines that they go by. I'm not debating anybody else's. I'm telling you what I do. And if you do use heat, you got to use a heat protectant. There's no way around that. So that's what I always do. So connected to those, here's another one. I think we're on number, 5 hair rules. Anybody keeping track out there? I think we're on number 5. If not, it's okay. We're going to keep on rolling. We're going to say number 5. Okay, so number 5. So one of the rules that a lot of people follow is that not only are you not supposed to use heat as far as flat ironing, but as far as blow drying. So like I said in the previous one, I do. Okay, so that's a hair rule or hair norm that I do not follow. I find, again, if you're going to flat iron your hair, which I do, the best way to get the best results is via the blow dry. Once you get that blow dry, that good blow dry, and get it semi-straight there, then the flat iron is easy peasy, okay? The flat iron, you just coasting at that point. So with that being said, I do not air dry. Air dry can make your hair feel even drier, okay? And it'll leave you with more texture, relaxed or not. It'll leave you with more texture to your hair, and therefore later on, if you do want to heat style your hair with a flat iron or curling iron or whatever, it's almost like going from 0 to 60, without anything in between. So I don't do that. I do blow drying with heat, and that way it's the perfect segue to me flat ironing my hair and getting the results that I want. Okay, so that's another hair rule or hair norm that I do not follow. Okay, so this next one, I don't know if it's necessarily, again, a hair rule, but I know that a lot of people, I've been asked about it. I've been asked whether I do it, and I do not. I do not co-wash, okay? I do not co-wash my hair. And for all those who aren't familiar, I believe co-washing is basically, in lieu of using shampoo, you use a conditioner to wash your hair. That way it can preserve more of the moisture or impart more moisture to your hair instead of using a shampoo. But I myself do not do it. I guess I'm of the school of thought that there are moisturizing shampoos already out there that you can use. And shampoos are formulated to get rid of the gunk and the buildup and so forth and so on. And then you use the conditioner to bring a lot of that moisture back into your hair. So with that being said, I don't really see me using a conditioner instead of a shampoo to clean my hair, being that the two are formulated for two different reasons. As well as I would think that there would be more buildup if you use conditioners in lieu of shampoos, an actual cleaning agent. I just think of it like this. I just try and keep it simple. I shampoo with a shampoo, I condition with a conditioner, and then, I go about my day and do the leave-in and all that other stuff and, to my hair. So I sort of follow that because that's the basics that work. If you go to a stylist, I don't know a stylist that would wash your hair with conditioner. If anything, if your hair were dry, they would wash your hair with a special moisturizing shampoo, and condition on the back end. So anyway, again, this is not to knock anybody else's zhuzh, anybody else's flow. This is what I don't do as far as the norms, and I do not co-wash my hair. Another rule or another norm that people follow is that before they get a relaxer, they like to base their scalp, okay? So they base their scalp basically to protect the relaxer from burning their scalp. I do not follow this norm or rule, whatever you want to call it. And a lot of you guys may already be familiar, so this may be redundant for a lot of you guys, but anybody who's checking in for the very first time, just to let you know, I do not base my scalp. I don't touch my scalp at all when I am about to relax my hair. The rule that I do follow is that you don't touch your scalp or you shouldn't touch your scalp about 2 to 3 days prior to relaxing, because that can irritate your scalp and then it's going to have early burn. On the day of relaxer, you can have early burning, meaning you apply the relaxer and then you start feeling burning even, before it's even all applied. So we don't want early burning. We don't want any burning at all, really, okay? Because the sign that the relaxer is working is not burning. That is a sign that you need to wash it out immediately, okay? So we're not even going to get into that. You do not want any burning at all. So I shouldn't even say early burning. You should have no burning. But yeah, I do not touch my scalp. I don't base it. I don't put Vaseline. Again, I don't do any of that. The only thing that I do is I do around the perimeter. Okay, I do around the perimeter of my edges, but I don't do anything on my scalp. Now, I know this one is very familiar with you guys or to you guys. I do not do protective styling. I've gotten a lot of questions about this, a lot of questions. And again, maybe you guys don't believe me. Maybe you think I'm holding back and like, she wears a wig now and again. I know she must wear ponytails somewhere. Now, I'm going to admit, I have worn ponytails when I first lost my hair. I told you guys that. And again, I do not protective styling. I know that one of the hair rules is that you touch your hair once and then you keep it up for the rest of the week or whatever and don't touch it again. You go to a protective style. That way your hair will grow or you will retain length, because of course it will grow. So with that being said, I don't adhere to that particular rule not because protective styling does not work. It does. It makes sense. If you don't touch your hair and you're not manipulating it a lot, you are less prone to breakage and you will retain more length. But I got sick and tired of ponytails. My go-to back in the day, as far as protective style, was a ponytail. In addition to, I used to crimp my hair and this and that. That's neither here nor there. I used to wear a ponytail and put it in a bun. That way, I don't have to touch it, this and that. I can even sleep with it, just put the scarf on it, wake up, boom, it's done. I did that for so long, I got sick of it. So once my hair got to a certain length, I said to myself, now that I got my stride going, I'm not wearing no protective styles anymore. So that's what I've been sticking to. Not because they don't work, but because I want to enjoy the fruits of my labor. I put in the work, I want to see it. I put in the work, I want to enjoy it. I want to live my best hair life. And for me, living my best hair life is wearing it out. I do my hair once a week and wear it out every week. I do not protective style. Okay, so this next one is I do not do hardcore protein treatments. One of the hair rules or hair norms is that people do a protein treatment every so often, like every month. And when we're talking about protein treatments, I'm talking about the hardcore ones. I'm talking about Apogee or anything that really is going to, anything that has the hardcore proteins in it, or anything that can be considered a reparative treatment. Usually that is synonymous with protein treatments. So with that being said, I do not do those. The only thing that I have done is that I have used Olaplex. I like Olaplex. It's a bond builder. It is not a protein treatment, but they act sort of in the same way as far as repairing and rebuilding the bonds in your hair. We've already touched on this. I have a video talking about protein overload that you may want to check out to get into the particulars. But right here, I'm just going to give you the overall. I do not use them. I've never used them. So when I lost my hair, again, that was through anemia, and I lost my hair, I got the Olaplex because it got a lot of good reviews and it wasn't as harsh as a protein treatment. And even now, I've sort of waned on the Olaplex because I feel like my hair is healthy. I don't believe that you just need to use protein treatments just on and on and on, because if your hair is healthy, why are you using something for hair that's not healthy? Protein treatments are supposed to repair. And if your hair is not in ear repair, then there's no need to use a protein treatment. But that's just what I go by. I know a lot of people do it on schedule. They're used to using a protein treatment. That's what they do, no matter what status their hair is now in. Everything that I have in my products, as far as the little proteins, the softer proteins, if you will, that is sufficient for me. I do not need to do a protein treatment because my hair is not in need of repair. So I do not go by that guideline of automatically using a protein treatment on my hair just because my hair is relaxed. Now this one I have heard a lot, and again, it's not necessarily a rule, but this is something that I have heard and I definitely do not subscribe to. I have heard plenty of times that, hey, if you see it, then address it. Let me get more specific. Oh Lord, here she goes. She's gonna do it. She's gonna talk about trims. Yes, trims. With regard to trims, I have heard that when you see the split ends, that's when you trim. Listen, you know how I feel about trimming, okay? So this one I definitely do not subscribe to. I want to stay ahead of anything that is going to go awry with my hair. And that's why I have the schedule that I have. I like to trim and dust every 4 weeks. That's just what I do. That is my zhuzh, okay? I'm not saying that anybody else needs to do that schedule. Do your own schedule, come up with anything that you feel comfortable with. But what I will say is that trimming is very important. I cannot stress that enough. And why wait until you get a split end to address it? You know it's coming. If your hair continues to grow, it is going to eventually split, even if you do not use heat, even if you do not have relaxed hair. Your hair will split because the ends are the oldest part of your hair, and therefore they are more prone to splitting and breakage. And if you have any type of breakage, meaning if you know, any type of manipulation to your hair, whether you comb it, you brush it, this and that, even if you put it up, even if you just, rub your hands or your fingers through your hair or whatever, because you don't use a comb, that's still manipulation. And you're still manipulating the oldest part of your hair, which be the ends. That is just the natural course of your hair. your ends are going to split, especially if they're not properly addressed. So why wait for that? I like to stay ahead of it. I like to dust, which is to take off the tippy tips and then do a trim. That's what I like to do. So I don't wait to see split ends. What has kept me in this cycle of growth and gain is that I stay ahead of it. In anticipation of these split ends, I am going to trim. And that is what I do. That is what I have done since I have rebounded from my hair loss. And this is what's keeping my hair going. So that especially is a rule that or norm that I do not follow. I believe in staying ahead of anything that would happen. I don't want to do triage later on and see a bunch of ends and then lose that length that you've gained because you figure I'll wait. So with that being said, you need to stay on top of your trims. Find your own schedule, make your own schedule, trim schedule. But the whole point is that I cannot stress this enough. You have to keep your ends trimmed, relaxed, or natural. It's best to do that. Now, I know there are a lot of naturals who wear their hair in a natural state and therefore they don't see a need to trim their hair. But I would say be careful with that, because even though you may not see it because it's in a shrunken state, okay, and it's in a natural state, it's in this little curly state and everything like that, it still affects the health of your hair. So I would still even tell you as a natural just to get your ends trimmed. Just get them trimmed, I'm not saying do a big chop or shave your head, we're not talking about that. We're not talking about the extremes. We're talking about upkeep. We're talking about maintenance. And part of maintenance with your hair is to keep those ends trimmed. So I do not play catch up with my end trimming. I like to be ahead of the curve, and I like to basically get it before it happens. So that's what I do. And at the end of the day, you have to listen to your hair, okay? You have to do what's best for you. How do you know that? You just listen. Your hair is going to tell you in very simple terms. Your hair is not like that one person at Starbucks that gets very fancy and wants, I just want a dollop of this and a splash of almond and 2% and make this hot but not too hot and this cold but not too cold. And I want a little bit of whipped cream on the side. Your hair is not like that. Your hair is going to talk to you in very simple terms. So if it's dry, it's going to say, hey, I need moisture. Please give me some moisture. If your hair is limp, okay, and it's not responding to styling, your hair is going to say, more protein, please. Please impart more protein. If your hair does not like a product, it's going to say, honey, we ain't feeling this. Don't use this no more. We're not even talking to you. We're not even going to respond. And if your hair needs a trim, it's going to tell and show you what's going on. SOS. Yoo-hoo! Hey, we dying down here. Please, we need a trim. Your hair is talking to you all the time. It really is. It's telling and showing you exactly what it needs. So there's no need to follow any rules that do not fit your hair's needs. So at the end of the day, you have to listen to your hair. Now, those are just some of the hair rules that I don't follow. Again, hair rules, hair norms, whatever you want to call them. I know you guys have heard me talk about quite a few of these points in previous videos, but maybe you guys have some that you too do not follow, do not adhere to, maybe totally buck the system and become a rebel. Okay, like a little bit like me. Let me know what hair rules you don't necessarily sign up for or believe in or adhere to. I'd like to know. Again, some hair rules are made to be broken, okay? They just are, because everything don't apply to everybody. We all know that, and that's what it is. So any of you other rebels, hair rebels, natural or relaxed, just let me know. Yes, do tell. So, with that being said, I think we can put a button on it. What do you think? I think we can, and that's what we're going to do. So, that wasn't too bad, right? We were in and out. I want to thank you so much for dialing in and showing up. I really do appreciate it. I really do. I really do. And yeah, we'll be back talking about some more stuff. We got more stuff on the list. We adding to it, and we subtracting. Okay, so this is one of the things that we can take off the list. But we got some more that we're going to chat about. So you gotta come back for that. So you already know. It's going to be the same Dolce dial. It's going to be the same Dolce channel. So you come on back.